The Wholesome One. Where have I heard that name before? He's asking about strength and conditioning along the offensive and defensive line improving.
I mean, just look at the roster. Just look at the guys. You know what I mean? Jalar Holly, Ja'Kai Clark. You know, they had that baby fat, that kind of, you know, that bad weight. It wasn't like a ton. You know, they weren't 380 with 70 pounds of bad weight. But, I mean, they needed to reshape their bodies a little bit. You know, Navon Donaldson. Look at Zion Nelson, bro. He's 6'5" and came in at 240, playing left tackle, you know, when he hit campus. Like, I mean, Jared Harrison Hunt was a basketball player, you know, and he, you know, when you're running that much of basketball, it's hard to really bulk up. But when we brought him in, we're like, yo, like, we're bringing you here to play defensive tackle. Like, you know that. And so when he finally stopped doing all of that extra cardio of just all of that running in basketball, which is even more than football, now, okay, you see him really then bulking up, muscling up, getting that kind of body. I mean, it's honestly, just look at the guys. Jalen Phillips, again, I already talked about his transformation. You know, look at Chance Williams really, you know, really becoming muscular. Look at Jafari Harvey. Said he was, you know, 240-ish. He was probably closer to 230, but he's up to 245, 250 now at that 6'3" defenseman. Just look at the guys. I mean, it's really been a great job, you know, by the strength and conditioning staff, by the nutrition department, supporting what's being done in the weight room, because we all know that bodies are made by what you eat. I know mine is all jiggly and everything because, yeah, I work out a little bit and everything, but I just love food and I use it as a coping mechanism and whatever. But these guys, they're using that, you know, the nutrition to fuel what they're trying to do with their bodies to build it or reshape it and everything. And then the other thing is you can use your eyes, and you have eyes in your head and a brain that works. You can look at these guys and say, hey, whoa, that's different. And just even that visceral reaction, that initial look, those are the things that really inform that. And hopefully, you know, we're talking about these guys coming back from these injuries and things. Navon Donaldson, you know, Ja'Kai Clark losing 20-something pounds. You got Jalar Holly, you know, famous for dancing 2 years ago on the sideline. Why? Because he wasn't going to play. You know, you got all these guys doing these things and just, you know, that they're moving up the roster and that they're performing more. Jordan Miller, who had a ton of bad weight. Now, that's a guy who had 20, 30 pounds of bad weight when he got to Miami. Now he's in the top 4 defensive line or defensive tackle rotation. Across the board, offensive and defensive line, we're seeing guys reshaping their bodies. And again, that's also the same thing like we were talking about earlier. Gilbert Frierson and these other guys. There's a lot of great work being done by the nutrition department and the strength and conditioning, which obviously go hand in hand, and we're seeing that on the field.
Yeah, you're talking to a guy who just downed 2 plates of pasta, and it's been in my mind for the last 45 minutes that there's a Dairy Queen right down the street, and they shut down for the winter, and you never know when they're going to open because it depends on the weather. It's not like April 1st they open. They just open whenever they feel like it. When, it's been like 65 for a couple days, we'll open. And I'm thinking, they might have opened. I might be able to make it down there by 9 o'clock. So I totally get that. Eddie is making a great point here, bringing up De'Ara King, and I've read this a few different places where he's blowing past these benchmarks. He's coming along, and this is just when you take a guy that's in great shape, an exceptional athlete, medical science being what it is. You know, when somebody went down with that type of injury years ago, even if it was mid-season of the previous year, you could almost count them out for the next season, where, you know, this timeline's down to 8 to 10 months, and we've seen the Amari Rogers of the world make it back before that. So again, the medical science combined with just the, you know, young people with a great bounce back, you know, they come back so quickly, especially an athlete of that caliber. And there you go. It's very hopeful.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously the rehab is being done by the medical department, more of the strength and conditioning, even though, you know, though they kind of do work together, obviously, in that. And it's a test to his mental fortitude, you know, and just the composition of his character, and being very open and transparent, man. You know, I tore my ankle apart in high school, and I had to do therapy, and I had to relearn how to walk and everything. And those were some dark days, bro. That was... It is mentally tough. And no, I'm not an elite caliber athlete or anything. You know, like I was a fringe kind of, you know, athlete in high school. You know, yeah, I played some varsity sports and you know, I'm not putting myself in that same caliber, but having been through that rehab process, understand it's tough, you know, and, you know, just see him continue to be positive and continue just to hit and pass these benchmarks at these early timelines. It's really positive for the program. And, hopefully he'll be able to be back sooner than later because, I am not expecting Miami to beat Alabama. Spoiler alert. I'm going to say that we're going to lose to Alabama. It's probably going to happen. However, I would feel even more comfortable with D'Eriq King on the field as opposed to Tyler Van Dyke, because I don't think Tyler Van Dyke is ready for that. He's, running with the ones right now. He's really, an athletic guy, a physical guy, has a great arm, all those kind of things. But Tyler Van Dyke needs another mango season. And if we're going to keep it respectable or, show our best and then obviously take that performance, even in a loss, and spin that forward, I want D'Eriq King to be on that field on September the 4th. And everything that we're seeing through his rehab will hopefully, have that come to pass. But, like I said, mental fortitude is part of that. And then, just his regenerative ability and, just medical science going forward. So all those things are part of that parcel. And again, like I said, hopefully D'Eriq King will be better ready for the opener.
These guys are all big boys, but certainly it's almost not fair to have a quarterback take his first snaps on a field against the likes of Alabama. You want that Sun Belt game out of conference, that type of an opponent to get those live reps, not just bam, you're getting hit with potentially the best defense in the country. But that's what it may turn out to be, but hopefully not.